And it all changes when Bill Clinton sends his terror team down there, one of which said I raced down there to save as many people as possible. Then through an FOIA request, they found out that he was in a hotel 10 miles away the night before. Oh, it's all, and then Whack-In Hut guards guard the debris so nobody can investigate. Thank God for people like Colonel Paul Craig Roberts that really put out the truth. I mean, this is in an age before the internet was anything. This is when you could instant message on the internet. Nobody knew what was going on. Nobody understood that if you looked at the actual seismic reports, it showed the explosion came out from the building, not pushed into the building from a Ryder truck. A Ryder truck, by the way, which was photographed on a military base in Oklahoma only weeks before. What the hell was a Ryder truck doing at an Oklahoma military base if it wasn't involved? Then you find out that McVeigh was on military bases for over a year after he was supposedly out of the military. And he was sending his sister letters telling her he was part of a black ops program. Just type in McVeigh, military base. Hustler broke the story of all people. Big ups to Larry Flint for that one. You know, it's not just beaver hunt over there. Sometimes they actually do real journalism. You know, Jason Bermas just promoted a pornographer. He's bad. He's a bad guy. I'm not a bad guy. I'm trying to tell you the truth. All right? She puts McVeigh in this like he's an actual terrorist. No, you set him up. You set him up. And he ain't a good person. He was involved in these black ops to be a patsy. He probably did some really vile, disgusting things. But you know what? It's a false paradigm that they create in your mindset. So, oh yeah, we have to protect against right-wing extremism. We don't want them blowing up another building. I was briefed on the general topic, which is one that struck a nerve as someone personally involved in the Timothy McVeigh prosecution. Yes, that's right. Napolitano was involved in prosecuting this guy. You don't think she's a demon? You don't think she knows what's going on? Give me a break. Disgusting. Let me be very clear. We monitor the risks of violent extremism taking root here in the United States. What violent extremism? The things that you listed, no one's out there shooting anybody. No one's out there pushing anybody around. No one's using violence. If you're anti-illegal immigration, supposedly you're plotting terror, violent extremism and terror on the border. Never happened. No precedent for it. They just make the blanket statement and demonize everybody. We don't have the luxury of focusing our efforts on one group. No, because if we actually did focus on Islamic extremism, it wouldn't work because Islamic extremists didn't pull off 9/11. They know that. That's right. They didn't pull off 9/11. We had drills of running planes into buildings as it happened. Okay? We had drills like Operation Jackal Cave going on that day. Give me a break. Drills of hijackings taking place at the same exact time. I mean, how naive and dumb are we as a populace? Sickening. Sickening. We must protect the country from terrorism, whether foreign or homegrown, and regardless of the ideology that motivates its violence. Remember, the war on terror was over, but it seems like everything is still terrorism. And we're going to stay in Afghanistan, and we're going to stay in Iraq. And she's just another talking head. She's just another face for evil. Chertoff was just as bad, if not worse. We are on the lookout for criminal and terrorist activity, but we do not, nor will we ever, monitor ideology or political beliefs. That is a total lie. That is a straight-up total lie. If you read the DHS documents, they tell you they're doing it. They admit it. Read the Virginia Fusion Center document. That's 225 pages long, and it tells you they've been surveilling all these groups. Every one of them. But nah, you won't read it. I made that document up. I mean, we must have made that up. We take seriously our responsibility to protect the civil rights and liberties of the American people, including subjecting our activities to rigorous oversight from numerous internal and external sources. I am aware of the letter from American Legion National Commander Renbin, and my staff has already contacted him to set up a meeting next week once I return from travel. I will tell him face to face that we honor veterans at DHS and employ thousands across the department, up to and including the deputy secretary. Yeah, except for the ones that might actually challenge your belief systems, the ones that know the truth, the ones that believe in the Constitution and Bill of Rights and the oath they took to protect it against enemies, foreign and domestic. It's the Info Warrior. We'll be back after this. Let's hit some serious news here. You know what? Let's go over more of these terrorism drills, because really I only went over in depth this California drill. And in fact, this New York drill is really the one that I'm very concerned about. Not because I think anything's going on, but because it always makes me uncomfortable when they're saying, oh, someone could blow up the Holland Tunnel. If you've ever been in the Holland Tunnel, your fears of like just all of a sudden it collapsing or some water pouring through. I mean, you're trapped in the Holland Tunnel, folks. You're under the ocean, you know? Or I might be under the Hudson, actually. You're not under the ocean. You're under the Hudson River. I mean, it's scary. I mean, you go through it. I can't imagine if someone blew up the Holland Tunnel. That would be a big deal. Authorities have warned people about a huge emergency response drill set for New York City's World Trade Center on Sunday, seeking to avoid panic like one caused by an unannounced flyover by a U.S. presidential plane. Oh, now they're saying that was a drill. Of course it was. It was a PSYOP drill. It had nothing to do with a photo op. Let me repeat that. Nothing to do with a photo op. That was bull. Jason, they love us. More than 800 emergency responders, mostly police and firefighters, will practice responding to a simulated explosion on commuter train in the tunnel below the Hudson River that separates New York from New Jersey. The drill is set to run from 6 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. and at a transit hub, which is surrounded by construction sites for skyscrapers and a memorial for victims of the September 11, 2001 attacks. People will see and hear lots of sirens and lots of emergency responses. And I guarantee this will be somewhat of a PSYOP too, because most people in the city won't know this is going on, and they are going to see how people act. Said Steve Coleman, a spokesperson for the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, which owns the World Trade Center site and operates the Trans-Hudson commuter line. So I guess they're going to blow up the train station and not the Holland Tunnel you drive through. So that is a little less scary. I'm not going to lie. You're really not aware where you are when you're on a subway train because you're underground. The World Trade Center site has been attacked twice, first by a truck bomb in 93, and then in September 11th, attacks to destroy the Twin Towers in 2001. Both by the feds, by the way. Both by this international intelligence cartel that I like to call the Invisible Empire. That's who did it. It wasn't Muslims in a cave. I hate to tell you. I'm sorry to tell you. I'm not happy about it. I promise you that. Since then, Madrid, London, and Mumbai have been hit by these same invisible empire people. Oh, no, wait. Oh, they're not saying that. Oh, hit by attacks on their transit systems, putting New York on alert. On April 27th, a plane used by President Barack Obama, trailed by a fighter jet, flew low over the Statue of Liberty near the World Trade Center site. No, it wasn't just over the Statue of Liberty. See how they tried to change things? It was throughout the city's skyline. It was going past buildings. If they wanted to do that by just the Statue of Liberty, which I've been inside of, by the way, as a young lad, let me tell you, it was tough. It was like a 4.5 hour walk to get up into the, I think I got up into the Crown because they were renovating the torch, and they actually had the old torch right in the lobby when you got there. I still remember it to this day because I was with my pops and my brother and sister, and I said, yo, to one of the people that worked there, asking him about something, and my father's just like, you don't talk like that, and gave me a little slap on the back of the head, and the guy's like, oh, don't you worry, a lot of people say a lot worse things to me. Wasn't used to the yo talk, and to this day I use yo. But it turned out the flight, which was not announced to the public, had been staged for a photo shoot. Total lies. There are no photos. The only photos are the ones that the people in New York City took. There's no photo shoot. I mean, come on. The aide who authorized the flyover resigned on May 8th. Oh, yeah, like an aide is the one that authorized a psychological operation on the people. Give me a break. Give me a break. Saying the controversy made it impossible for him to lead the White House military office. Coleman said the warnings issued ahead of Sunday's event were not necessarily related to that snafu. We have done similar drills with similar types of warnings. Obviously, this is a bigger scale drill, so we are doing a little bit more. I don't think it's strictly because of what happened 2 weeks ago with the flyover. Yeah, right. And like we said, we have those drills going on in Flint, Michigan as well, all leading up to this summer super exercise of National Level Exercise 09, NLE 09. All local governments, all state governments, all federal agencies will be involved. DHS oversight with FEMA. And let's not forget the international intelligence organizations and private sector that will also be aboard for NLE 09. Remember, the United Kingdom, Mexico, Australia, Canada, and the U.S. with FEMA to prevent terrorism. We have to be very aware of that massive exercise that will probably intertwine a lot of smaller exercises like the ones we're seeing this weekend. And the reason we report on this is because it's to prepare the public for what is coming from this invisible empire. These globalists, the people that really call the shots, not just some puppet with a smile named Barack Obama, friends. It's the InfoWarrior with Jason Bermas. We'll be back with your calls after this. Infowars.com, prisonplanet.tv.